Mr. Hobbs is a wealthy and successful, self-made businessman. He holds the position of chairman and CEO of Greenworks Co., a multi-billion-dollar engineering company. As brilliant, hardworking, and fair as he is, Mr. Hobbs has contracted cancer and is dying. A fresh young leader would soon be the new face of Greenworks Co. Adam, a 21-year-old fresh Harvard graduate, is the only son of Mr. Hobbs. He thinks that he is the best in everything he does and never admits his faults. Although academically inclined, he displays bad traits of arrogance, laziness, and disorganization. His egotism only elevates when he finds out he is set to inherit his father's company in 2 years' time. Joseph is a 21-year-old intern at Greenworks Co. Having come from a working-class family, he's worked very hard to graduate as valedictorian from Harvard University and secure an internship at the nation's top engineering company. He hopes to alleviate the burden of his parents, who work as a bus driver and cleaner respectively, by studying and working part-time jobs, all while helping raise his younger sisters. Mr. Hobbs has decided to carry out a treasure hunt activity amongst his employees to examine their intelligence and soft skills, and most importantly, to find new leaders in the company. The employees were split into 2 teams. Looking into the other team, newcomer Joseph displayed traits of a great leader. He showed action-oriented judgment. He thought outside of the box and was able to move the group forward and closer to achieving their task. Furthermore, he was task competent. His reasonings and ideas were always on point. He was also effective in expressing himself to his teammates and getting them to follow him. This is where his people skills jumped in. The activity began, and it came off as no surprise. Adam was the one ringing bells in his team. Be that as it may, his privilege and haughtiness compelled his teammates into giving in to his every whim and order. His teammates looked to him as more of a dictator rather than a leader. As expected, Joseph's team found the treasure and won the activity. Mr. Hobbs was very impressed by his young intern and decided to further look into Joseph's capabilities. Mr. Hobbs had now seen what Joseph was capable of. He decided to further evaluate his performance by assigning a task to both Joseph and Adam. Mr. Hobbs hoped to determine the stronger leader for the future of the company. The task focused on how to deal with manpower shortage in an institution. Adam was confused. He did not know how to handle such a situation. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and faced nearly little to no obstacles. The problem here wasn't the fact that he was privileged. The problem was that he did not recognize his privilege and never had the initiative to understand and empathize with the lesser fortunate and their lower circumstances. His luxurious and effortless background provided no insight into solving the task given. On the other hand, Joseph immediately remembered the days when he used to work as a part-timer in an underpowered supermarket. He did a 2-man job, working as a stacker and cashier at the same time. During his time there, he developed a new way of stacking items by categorizing it according to price, so that he could count prices from a distance while customers shopped. He managed to implement a similar strategy to the task given. Mr. Hobbs found it difficult to choose whom would lead Greenworks Co., especially considering one of the obvious candidates was his own flesh and blood. Nonetheless, he found that his son was not an ideal leader because he lacked crucial leadership traits in which he found in Joseph instead. Apart from the traits displayed during the treasure hunt activity, the latter showed genuine curiosity, humbleness, and experience in solving problems, traits that he did not find in his own son. In the end, Mr. Hobbs made a practical, non-emotional decision by choosing Joseph as the next CEO of Greenworks Co. This story proves that certain traits are not innate, rather, it is gained from life experiences.